What's up, you guys? I hope you guys are all having a great start to your week. I know we are here at the floor, so that's always beautiful. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna imagine everybody is doing pretty good. Kev, I'm glad to hear that. All right, we'll go ahead and get right into it here. The first thing I want to do is go over the trades we took today, or I guess the trade we took today. Price action was a little weird this morning, which honestly, I was expecting to have a cash day. We really didn't go anywhere on NQ today. we especially in the morning, we kind of just stayed where we were at. I mean, if you look here from open for the first 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes, we stayed within the exact same range. And we were done within the first 13 minutes of the day. So that is fantastic. But yeah, we ended up taking Circle to the downside today. Now, this was a super clean trade, and we did take it a little bit different than normal. We didn't actually take it as a breakdown. We actually took it as a rejection. So, obviously, you can see here, well, actually, I want to go back and show you the setup first. So, the setup we were looking at was 129.10 to the downside. Super easy support to spot right here from, what is this, the 20th. And I had this in the trade ideas on Friday, as you can see. If you look right here at the top left, we had this in the trade ideas on Friday. Looking at the 129.10 low of day from Wednesday, targeting momentum below 128. Overall, we have room down to the 4-hour/1 hour trend at 126.67, which that had obviously updated by today. And I didn't put this in our full watch list for today just because we were pretty far away before open. But this ended up being the first thing to get to one of our levels. So if you look here, we obviously just tanked right off open until we got to our 129.10 support level. And whenever we got to that 129.10 support, I really was not the biggest fan in the world of that trade just because we were pretty extended already. I would actually say we were super extended already, and I was very surprised to see this thing come down and make as big of a low as it did. I mean, we got an extra $2.10 break just off of this 129.10 level. So I was very surprised to see that, especially with the essentially $6 move we already had off open. But the way that we were looking at this was a break and kind of retest rejection here. And you can see we ended up breaking the level, obviously, setting a low of day at 127.01. Now, when we came back up here, I was considering getting an entry just as soon as we came back up, but I really didn't like how aggressive this 937 candle was to the upside. And I knew that if we got our entry there, we were probably, I mean, our stop loss would have been super tight, but we were probably going to get stopped out like within the next few seconds if that did not end up rejecting perfectly, which it ended up doing. So that's cool. But we did save ourselves from holding through this consolidation here because we actually got our entry at 943, and that was on this candle right here. Once we saw this 128.50 level start to reject, I was a big fan of this, and obviously, I mean, the closer to 129 that I could have gotten my entry, I would have liked to, but really the smartest spot for an entry for me was once I had confirmation that we were showing less buying around 128.50 and sellers start to be able to actually take a little bit of control here. So, I mean, these 3 wicks right here around this 128.50 level, that was all the confirmation that I really needed at that point in time. We were way weaker than the market. And on this candle right here, we got a green to red right at 128.50. Once we saw that, I ended up getting my entry here basically at 128.50. And right after that, I mean, we've really sniped this entry actually, because we came straight down, broke below 128. First target was the low of daybreak at 127. And then my absolute final target that I was looking for on this was 125.85, which is a support that I have on the 4-hour. Now, we did not end up getting the final target, but we ended up taking off half of our position on this 127 break, which that was already a super nice scale out right there. That put us in the position. So regardless of what happened, we were looking at a green trade. So that scale out really, really helps. You give the stock potential, give yourself potential to make more, while also taking off pretty much all risk, right? So that was a perfect scale out there. And then I know Circle likes to have reactions around the 60 cent area on pretty much every break that I've looked at on Circle. So once we came down here to 126.60, I had an alert set at 126.60. And when we got the break of 126.60, I ended up taking off another 25% of my position, and that was on the 946 candle, which is right here. So once we broke 126.60, I ended up scaling out of another 25%, and my goal was to leave the last 25% for the 126 break, which should have taken us straight to 125.85. Now we did get down here to 126.01. That was the lowest that we had gotten at that point. And then we ended up seeing a bounce. And now I pretty much knew on this, if we could hold below 127, we were most likely going to see this 125.85 level. But if we got aggressive at all above 127, there really was no reason for Circle to come back down if we got aggressive above 127, if buyers got aggressive above 127. So as soon as I saw buyers get aggressive above 127, I ended up scaling out of the other 25%, and the last 25%, I guess, is what I meant to say there, for pretty much break even on those contracts. But overall, it was a super nice day. Ended up making about 1473 on that. So little over 15% for a Monday with a 0 drawdown trade. And I cannot complain whatsoever with that trade. That was absolutely beautiful. All the entries, the entry and all the exits were signaled live here on voice, and also you guys can see the actual signal itself right here. So yeah, fantastic way to start the week. Yeah, how did everybody do today? I would imagine, who caught that with me this morning? I don't know how many people in here are in the floor and how many people are just from Threads. So Thomas Ward, I caught it. There you go. Great play, 600. Let's go, Dave. Was in with very, very light size. Hey man, that's completely up to your own risk tolerance on your sizing. I'm never gonna knock anybody for taking something with light size. EA, let's go. 10% for you, Tom. Yes, green is green. Green is green. Regardless. And honestly, that trade today, I was literally looking for just a green trade. If I walked out of the market today with a green trade, I would have been happy. It didn't even need to be that big of a trade. With how the market was moving at that point in time, I was either looking at a cash day or, if at best I was expecting a small green trade. I was not expecting something to actually get followed through like this. So Sniper entry, very, very clean exits. We gave it room for more potential as well, which is always nice. So, anyways, moving on here for the actual point of this stream, which is the charting session. So, what's up, Yin Yun? Google and Meta Green. There you go, UB. I haven't seen that name in a minute. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the charting session here. So, obviously, if you guys have been here, you guys know what's up. But if you haven't been here, we're going to go through my whole watch list from A to Z, see what I like, see what I don't like, and make a watch list for tomorrow and then possibly the rest of the week at the end. So, let's go ahead and get into it. First thing here on Apple, it looks like overall we could be setting up for more upside, but I feel like we look a bit more bearish on this right now. But overall, I mean, there's not really any setups here that I would look to take advantage of. Let's see. AMD does not, if you're just looking at today, it doesn't look bad. However, I don't really think that I trust this for a while, up until like 150, yeah, 157.80. Yeah, that'll probably be the next time I look at AMD is 157.80. I'm sure that you probably could take a play on today's flat bottom that it made, but it's just going into an area where there's way too much buying for me to feel comfortable taking that. Amazon, I'm all good. ARM, does ARM have? No, ARM just had earnings, my bad. Let's see, what earnings did we have? We had Nvidia on Wednesday, Crowd on Wednesday, Snow on Wednesday, Marvel on Thursday, and Affirm on Thursday. So not too many earnings for this week. It does kind of suck that we can't look at Nvidia at all until Thursday morning, but oh well. We've got plenty of other possibilities here. So far, I'm not seeing anything I'm a big fan of those, so. Coin. Everything's going back into an area that's just a little too messy for my liking. I think the next time I would look at coin here. I think the next time I would look at coin here would be, and I was gonna say this 294.56 area, but we've broken too many times with a fake out. Yeah, we've got a ways to go before I would be looking at coin again. Okay. Moving on. Costco, this thing needs to just go off my watch list. I say this every week and I still don't remove it, but it really does need to just go off the watch list because there's nothing there. Circle, I will say, whoever shouted out Circle, and I think it was Kieran, like a while back, Circle has probably been my best performing stock in the past 2 months. Actually, probably longer, actually, but yeah, I think I told you guys a while back that I've been lacking on the whole journaling thing for quite a while, and I literally just started making one just for accountability purposes and, you know, being able to have an actual tracker on the trades themselves. But Circle within the last at least 2 months alone is responsible for like 11K. At least. Yeah, Circle is beautiful. It really does. And I don't think we've taken a single red trade on Circle. Knock on wood. Just for superstition purposes. But up to this point, we have not had a single red trade on Circle. Let's see. This 4-hour trend lines up at 123.95. What is low of day from today? 124.70. Yeah, I'm all good then. That trend is not to be messed with. For me, at least. I'd rather see what happens after it does its thing. I did. Ray C shouted out Circle. I appreciate you, Ray C. I don't think that one would have ever made the watch list if it wasn't for you guys. So Google. Oh, he's saying he caught it. Gotcha. Let's see, Google. I don't know that I really like this at today's high. I know it's all-time high as well, but I'm actually surprised we saw that today. I really didn't think we were going to. Just with the way it was acting, you know, while we were still around, it didn't really seem like it had what it took to give an actual good breakout. I mean, definitely would have got smacked on the first 2 attempts of the all-time high. So I'm not too upset about that, but yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on Google. I don't really want to take a high of day from today. So far, the first like half of the watch list, we have nothing. INTC, yikes. Wow. Okay. We're looking hot right now. So far we're halfway through the watch list and don't have one single thing. I can tell you the watch list isn't going to take very long to make. That's the bright side, I guess. Meta here is just in consolidation, and I really don't like it to the upside, but I also really don't trust it to the downside right now. I don't love that 5-minute trend. I don't love this 15-minute trend. I think we could. I'm not going to completely write off Meta here, but I think down here at 748.71, we could see some nice downside, but also that's probably if we keep these same trends overnight, they'll be low enough that we could actually have an all right target, but it is still going to be close to that 748 area, I would imagine. That's all right. We can keep Meta though. It's in consolidation, which kind of sucks because in consolidations, stocks can move aggressively to either direction, and they might look like they're trying to make the move, but you really don't know until they actually make the move. So it's just, they're a little bit more difficult to read. I love playing consolidation breaks, but when the consolidations take, let's say, a day, anything shorter than a day, I'm okay with. And then like the day to day and a half range, it's like, okay, are we going to continue staying in this range for the rest of the week? Or are we, going to break? And that's the kind of annoying part with playing consolidations like that is because it's like this could very easily on meta. This could very easily stay like this for the rest of the week. Completely could. And it might look like it's going to break 5 or 6 times between now and then. So, yeah. Or it could just break right away tomorrow and have a really nice sell-off. So, that would be the opposing side of that. Sorry if you guys hear my dog in the background, but he's rolling around and snorting like a pig. So, my bad if you guys can hear that. And I would imagine you can. Microsoft, absolute jack on here. I mean, 570 cents does not look like the worst thing in the world, but we would literally just have to take this just at 570 cents because there's nowhere here to look for a better early entry, in my opinion. I feel like this 501.70 is still a little too far away to take it as an early entry for this play. I mean, we can mark it out and just see, but the way that I'm going to write the trade idea is not going to involve this 501.54 pre-market low at all. It's just going to be about 570 cents. So Microsoft, I'll go ahead and mark. MSTR, please give me something. Not much. Okay. MSTR is kind of the same as a few of these other ones we've looked at. What else was that? I think coin looked the same. Yeah, coin and MSTR pretty much look the same. Obviously, I mean, they are kind of involved with the same thing there, so that makes sense. MU, nothing for a hot minute here, and even if we do come back down to this 113.46 support, it gets pretty messy under that. Nvidia has earnings, so I'm skipping it. Oracle looks pretty much the same as MSTR and coin. PLTR, I'm not sure exactly what downside you're looking at there, but personally, I don't really have anything here. This is just massive sell-off followed by a recovery for the whole rest of the day. And then, you know, pretty much closing. I mean, not closing where we opened, but we basically ended up moving what? Open at 156, we closed at 157. So we ended up moving $1 for the day in total. Now, this kind of sucks, guys. I'm not gonna lie, the amount of setups we have here is not too great. Now this on Roblox looks really solid. The problem is I don't know if I can trust that it's going to have volume. We closed today with decent volume on, what was this? The 126 and 127 calls. We closed with decent volume on those. But the problem is, are we going to open with enough volume to be able to actually take this play? I do like it, so it is going to get marked. I'm going to try and not discriminate against it because it is typically a low volume stock. And I'm just going to take it for what the setup is because at this point we really don't have much. So kind of, I mean, obviously when you're trading, you need to be picky regardless. But I'm going to at least give myself some options to look at here. Because if I only have one thing on the watch list, that makes it a little slim for my liking. Didn't shout it out. I was saying I traded. Got you, Racy. Tesla. Wow. So I have nothing as far as big levels go. I mean, I would like to play the 350 break if we come up there, but this just does not look clean at all. There's nothing about this that looks good. That's super interesting. I think this is probably the least amount of setups that we've had on a live charting session on YouTube. I really do. Let me just go through the rest of these here because there's probably nothing and the volume sucks anyways. Okay. So Tesla, if we come up to 350, I'll take it, most likely. But there's really nothing to write out about it here. Like even this, some of the stuff we've got here, it's okay. But there's really nothing to write out about it. It's just the level. And that's pretty much it. The level followed by targeting whatever momentum we can get. But, I mean, guys, you also got to keep in mind, right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 things on the watch list out of my entire watch list. One of those things I'm expecting to not have any volume at all. Another one of those things I'm not really expecting to happen. So we really have 2. But you've got to keep in mind, we are currently on a 11-day green streak. You know, and then take like a week or so break before that, where we ended up having a red day throughout the week. And then before that, you had another 13-day green streak. We have been ridiculously hot since like, I want to say June or before. Like we have been ridiculously hot. So the fact that we're slowing down for a couple days, don't let it get your emotions down in the dumps here. Just keep doing what you got to do, but there's times like this where things are just a little bit slower and not as clean. Roblox for the downside tomorrow. I believe in it. I'm glad that you believe in downside. What's up, Nikita? Yeah, I'm not looking at anything to the downside on this. I mean, it could see downside, obviously, but only thing I would be looking at there is upside. Is there any conviction behind your beliefs, Austin, or is it just you believe in it? All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into this here. We'll go ahead and start off by writing out meta. Give me just a second. I want to see once again. Okay. I don't want to look at low of day from today because that's just leading us into more consolidation here. So yeah, I'll just be looking at 748.71 to the downside on this. let's see. What are we looking at after that? 748, then we have room all the way down here to 747.50 and then 746. Okay. My messages. Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I see what you're talking about now, Austin. I see what you're talking about. Looking good tomorrow. Marwan, I would love it if we were looking better pre-market. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't think we're looking horrible to the point where we're not gonna have anything at all, but we're not looking great. We have 4 things, and 2 of them I'm expecting one not to have volume and the other to not really happen. So let's see, do we have any trends on this? We do. Okay, so all the trends, we're gonna have to be below those before we get our entry anyways, and then this trend kind of invalid at this point, and that gives us room all the way down to 495.62. So we've got plenty of room on this. Sad Google didn't happen earlier in the day. Honestly, Marwan, I am super happy with the trade we got. I don't think I would have even taken Google if it lined up while I was still looking, you know, sitting and looking at the charts actively. So Austin, I see what you're talking about as far as the bad things happening. Unfortunately, that doesn't really mean that it has to go down. Like, the last time we had a plane, like, not crash necessarily, but like when BA was having troubles with the planes and the airliners were having troubles with the planes, I mean, there would be some really bad stuff happening and the stock would still shoot the next day. So, unfortunately, as far as the whole company goes, I honestly am not behind it whatsoever. And I'm glad to see those things that are happening. But, well, the actions that are being taken against them. But unfortunately, that does not mean the stock has to go down. So I'm going to just write it out how it looks right now. Pre-market, obviously, if we see something different, then that's great. But the way that it's looking right now, upside is honestly looking pretty clean. So all right, there's Roblox. We already got Microsoft. We already got Meta. And then Tesla is going to take about 2 seconds to write out because it looks, I mean, the setup just looks not good. The only reason I'm even considering this is just because it's Tesla. All right, that is what I've got for tomorrow. Unfortunately, there's not very many options here, but what we've got looks all right. The main thing we just need to see is volume on the contracts. It's kind of crazy how like that's pretty much our main restriction right now is contract volume with the majority of our watches. And these are all on stocks that used to have crazy good volume no matter what. So it's interesting to see, but either way. Yeah, so that's what I've got for tomorrow. If you guys want to turn this into a little Q&A here while we're still around, that would be perfectly fine with me. But it's not much of a watch list, but that's what we've got. So if you're not in the floor, make sure you take a screenshot of that. If you want to trade live with me every day, click that first link in the description because we have a 3-day free trial. Join up. I'll see you in pre-market reviews. We got lessons live almost every night. So I would say that it's definitely worth a shot, especially since it's free to take your shot. You got no questions, no nothing? I feel like we got too many people in here right now to have no questions. Trying to make the thing readable. Make sure your stream quality is at the highest it can be, which unfortunately is 1080p HD. And then just take a screenshot and zoom in, and you'll be able to see it just fine. If you're in the floor, I'm sending a screenshot in the stocks chat right now, so you guys will already have this, but I have no way of sending it to you if you're not in here. So yeah, well, even if I make it full screen here, you're gonna see here in a second, even if I make it full screen, the letters stay the exact same size, so not very helpful there, unfortunately. But yeah, I just went ahead and sent the watch list in the stocks chat for you guys. But yeah, once again, all right, if we have no questions, then we can go ahead and wrap it up early, but make sure you click that first link in the description. Join up. It's free. You're missing out on free money. And otherwise, I'll see you guys first thing in the morning for pre-market review. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Once again, beautiful start to the week. Thank you guys for attending, and I will see you in the morning.